Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of our podcast. I'm very happy that you are here with me because today we are talking about super common frustrations. I'm going to be talking about the fact that you are lifting weights but you don't look like you lift. I got on so many consultations lately and I talk to ladies who literally says, I want to look toned, I go to the gym and I don't know why am I not seeing the muscle definition, the tone look that I want, because I feel like I'm doing everything right. So you're pretty much, if you're one of those, you pretty much know what I'm talking about. You show up at the gym, you follow the workout plan, you're staying consistent, but again, like you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't see the result that I want. My body is not reflecting all the hard work that I'm putting in. So if this sounds familiar, this is for you. I think you're gonna really like this episode because the truth is, guys, that building a visible muscle isn't just about lifting weights. There is three key reasons why people struggle to see results. And so in today's episode, I'm going to go and tell you, yeah, for sure. I'm gonna tell you what these three reasons are, and I'm also going to break it down for you and give you a practical solutions so you can start making real progress. So let's dive in. I'm excited because I actually used to struggle with this too, especially when I struggled with my food, didn't really know how to eat. I would show up at the gym literally like 6 to 7 times a week. I wouldn't even take day off, and I look at myself in the mirror and I was so frustrated. So if you're feeling tired of feeling like your training isn't paying off, stick with me. Like I said, you're gonna really enjoy what is happening with my English today. You're gonna enjoy this episode, so let's dive in. So let's start with one of the most common reasons why people don't see muscle definition, that tone, sexy look that we all want. That reason is that you're not lifting enough or pushing your muscles close to failure. Now, do I say that you always have to leave the gym feel absolutely drained? Absolutely not. That's not the purpose. But you also cannot be lifting light weights all the time over and over, expect results. So now let's talk about what actually causes muscle growth. Muscle growth or hypertrophy, which is the fancy word pretty much for increasing the size of your muscle fibers, happens when you apply enough stress to your muscle that they break down and then rebuild stronger, right? Now, think of it like this. When you lift weights, you're creating these little tiny micro tears in your muscle fibers. Your muscle then repairs those fibers, making them thicker and stronger to handle the future stress. But like I said, if you are lifting too light, there is pretty much no reason for your muscles to grow because they're not being challenged enough. So now you want to ask yourself a question. Are you finishing your sets feeling like you could easily do 5+ more reps? Have you been using the same weights for months without increasing? Do your muscles readily feel fatigue after workout? Now, do I say that you have to feel so after each workout? Absolutely not. Soreness is not the only indicator of a good workout. But if you feel that you're leaving the gym and you're like, I can do another workout, or again, like you finish a set and you can easily do 5 more reps, that's an indicator that you need to increase weights. So now how to fix it? If you ask yourself all of these questions and at least once you answer yes to any of those, number one, increase your weights. You want to be aiming to be lifting at like 65 to 85% of your 1 rep max. You want to train close to failure. This means by the last, let's say 2 to 3 reps of your set, you should be struggling but still maintaining good form. That's why standing by the mirror, looking at yourself in the mirror, you want to be looking at your form, making sure that your form is proper. Like if you're not, using momentum, you're not doing like heavy reps, things like that. That's why also I film myself not only for content, but I like to review my videos, look at my form to see what I can improve. You also want to be tracking your progress. So write down your weights and reps so you're constantly challenging yourself. That's why in my program with my clients, they're tracking their weights, how much they lift in the training app that we use together. So that way, when I review their programs, I exactly can see if they are progressing or if they are lifting the same weights, which I always give them feedback about, right? Number 4 thing is that you want to prioritize compound movements. Guys, compound movements are like squats, deadlift, bench presses, and row because you're engaging or you're using multiple joints doing these movements, and these are the best and they should be your staple in your training program. Like focusing really on those and then some isolated movements is the best way to build muscle. So those are the 4 kind of key fixes that you should be focusing on if you are like, okay, like I really feel like I need to push harder or just do some, assessment or just like improve something or change something because I'm not seeing the results that I want. If you want to lift, you really have to train like you mean it. That's one thing to remember. Another thing or reason why you might not see the results that you want is that you're not eating enough, which is super common. And like literally, like I don't think I've worked with many clients who came to me and who I said, oh, you're gaining weight because you're eating too much. A lot of people undereat, and that's the reason also why they can put on muscle. Even if you're training perfectly, if you're not eating enough, your body is not going to have enough, let's call it material / food. It needs to build muscle, right? Muscle growth requires fuel, because I said that before. Remember that muscle is metabolically very expensive tissue, which means that your body is not going to build or maintain it unless it has extra energy to spare. So if you are in a calorie deficit or just barely eating at maintenance, your body is more focused on survival than on growing new muscle. A study shows that the individuals aiming for muscle growth should be in a small calorie surplus of about 10 to 15% above their maintenance calories. So if your maintenance calories are 2,500 and you truly want to build muscle, you should be eating 10 to 15% above your maintenance calories. So you will be probably at 2,800, and yes, you're going to build muscle, but you're also going to you're going to gain some fat along the way, but that's just part of the process. If you want to build muscle, you have to go through this uncomfortable phase where you build muscle along with gaining some fat, because then when you go to fat loss / cutting phase, you're going to lose that extra weight, but you're going to look better than you looked before your bulking phase. Now, the signs of you not eating enough: you're not gaining muscle or strength, you are feeling exhausted or weak during your workout, you are always hungry or you're craving food constantly, you just don't feel satisfied, you are training hard but you're just not seeing the muscle definition. So you're walking by the mirror and you look flabby, you don't look the way you want to look. It's simple. If you're doing the things right, you're going to see results. How to fix this? If you truly care about putting on muscle and you decide to do a bulking phase, meaning that you really go through this phase where you are intentionally training and eating properly, you want to go to a calorie surplus, meaning 200 to 300 calories above your maintenance per day to help with the muscle growth. You want to prioritize protein, meaning that you want to eat anywhere between 0.7 to 1 gram per pound of goal body weight to really maximize the muscle protein synthesis, which is the process where your body repairs and builds new muscle. Another thing is that you want to spread protein throughout the day. Eating protein-rich meals like every 3 to 4 hours will help your body in optimal muscle building state. Also, don't fear carbs and fats, you guys, because carbs fuels workouts. They're not essential, but they're super important. And fats help also with hormone regulation, which is important, and they're essential. If you cut these out too much, you are slowing down the process or progress. You don't need to do that, and don't do it, please. If you are lifting and still not seeing results, you want to take a close look at your diet, because the chances are you're not eating enough to support muscle growth, which I see so often, especially with ladies who get on the call with me and say, I do all this, I train, I do, yoga and strength training, and then I also throw some cardio in, and I'm eating 1400 calories. Well, yes, I'm not surprised you're not putting on muscle, and you can even lose weight at this point. So another reason why you might be struggling to see muscle definitions and that toned, sexy look that we all want is that you're overdoing cardio. Guys, cardio is important for overall health. I'm not saying that you should not ever do cardio at all, but too much of it can cause or can work against your muscle building goals, because too much cardio really can be detrimental to your goals when it comes to building muscle. Now, how too much cardio affects muscle growth? Let me explain. So, especially when excessive cardio is combined with undereating, it puts your body into a catabolic state. This means instead of building muscle, your body starts breaking it down for energy, and that's the last thing that you want. Signs of you're doing too much cardio are you're losing muscle definition instead of gaining it. You can also be losing fat, right? Like the scale is dropping, you're like, yeah, I'm losing weight, but then you're losing a lot of muscle. So then you look at yourself in the mirror and it's like, shit, I actually don't like how I look, although the scale is down. That's a sign that you're losing muscle. Another sign could be that you feel super drained and exhausted rather than energized. So if you're leaving the gym completely exhausted because you do a strength training for an hour, you're on 1400 calorie diet, and then you're ending your session with 45 minutes cardio, wrong. Definitely not the best way to do this. And then of course you're not getting overall stronger. So when you're tracking your workouts, and then you look at your last 4 to 8 weeks and you see that the weight hasn't increased, and you're doing 15 pounds dumbbell curls for the last 8 weeks and you weren't able to up it to 17.5 or 20 pounds, then that's the sign that something is not working properly. How to fix it? I would highly suggest you to reduce your cardio. As sometimes you don't even need to do any, just focus on steps. Like I personally only do conditioning for 8 minutes after my workout, and that's it. So if you were like a cardio bunny and you love cardio, then just reduce it at least to 2 sessions per week, 20 minutes, moderate intensity. That's literally enough. You don't need more than that. You want to prioritize strength training over excessive cardio always, 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 always. And you want to use your cardio very strategically. So again, like walking, cycling, very low impact cardio. That is not going to interfere as much with muscle growth. So if your goal is to build muscle and see the definition, the tone look, your training focus should be mainly on resistance training with some cardio in moderation, if any. So final takeaways and action steps for you. If you're lifting weights but not seeing muscle definition, here is what you want to focus on. I'm going to recap this. Number 1, lift heavy weights to challenge your muscles, push close to the failure, focus on progressive overload. Number 2, eat enough calories and protein. Your body needs fuel to grow, so 200 to 300 calories above your maintenance. And number 3, cut back on excessive cardio, prioritize strength training always. Remember that muscle growth is a process. It takes time and consistency. And I always say that building muscle is way harder and takes longer than just losing fat. So again, don't worry, you're not gonna get bulky, you're not gonna look like a Hulk. I wish it was that easy, because really putting on muscle is so important, takes so much time and effort, and it doesn't happen really overnight. Like, I've been strength training for like 12, maybe 13 years, maybe more, maybe 13 to 15 years. And I wish that I have more muscle at this point. And I've been really, really consistent for the last at least 8 to 9 years. And I wish I have more muscle. So it really doesn't happen overnight. So if this episode helped you, please share this with your friend or tag me on Instagram at my Instagram, which is Martina_fit_YYC. And if you're looking for a structured plan that actually works, you should check out my coaching program, because I would love to help you. So until next time, guys, have the best day of your life, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.